Kids breaking into the cars.
Yeah.
Like they did the black kids and the white kids.
Yes.
I enjoyed that one because that showed me how people racial profiling.
Absolutely.
And I'm doing that for English right now.
Way to go.
Yeah, and I'm doing this now.
Okay.
Malachi is one of a kind. One of a kind.
Okay, go ahead.
My name is Jerry. I was born and raised in America. My parents are from, like, they're from Thailand and Laos.
Okay.
And what I learned in this class, I learned the countries of Africa and America, and yeah.
Okay.
This is going on Umoja's Facebook page, everybody.
Should I get some of those?
Kendall. Yeah, you're on. Otherwise, everybody stops talking. Okay.
My name is Kendall Kitty, and my ethnic background, well, I'm mainly black, but I'm mixed with white and French, a little bit of Chinese, and some type of Indian, but it's like a lot of different things from my mom and dad's side. And what I learned is obviously the African country, because I didn't know any of them, as bad as that sounds, but I didn't. And it's just cool that I learned them, I know where they are, I put them out on the map, so that's like the main thing I learned. And then obviously as well, like slavery and certain people, what they did for blacks and like, freedom and all that stuff. So yeah, that's basically all I learned.
Okay.
Who's next? Peter?
Timiana,
you go. Go, Timiana. Peter.
No.
Why don't I just pass it around?
Okay, yeah.
Sign up.
You better watch out, girl. I'm gonna.
You should go.
Okay, Peter, you're on.
Hi, I'm Peter Vargas. Are you recording now?
You're recording this?
What I've learned is where, of course, all the African countries are. Countries in Africa and everything. I got an A on that.
Yes, you did.
I didn't do very well on the other maps, but I learned a lot about Joan of Arc. I did paper and stuff about her. And I learned racial profiling was actually also really constructed by society rather than it was invented by society. And yeah, that's it.
And your ethnic background?
Oh yeah, I'm full-blooded Filipino. I was
Okay.
raised in America.
Okay.
Go, Timiana.
My name is Timiana. What I learned from this class was the other countries, of course the countries, and just how racist, so like some people really are, like from the video that she showed us, like just how like they do like race people, like raise the kids. I was like, dang, it's kind of sad, like just how like racist like people really are. And what else? Oh, my race, I'm African American. My parents are both African American. My mom was born in Oklahoma. My dad was born in Oakland, and they met in Oakland. But yeah, now we live here. And then, yeah, I think
My mom said you're really cute.
Cameron.
Seriously?
My dad is actually African American and German. He's from Germany. And then my mom she's African American also, but she's mixed with Irish and has a little bit of Spanish in her, so we just have a little like mix of everything. I learned about slavery, Harriet Tubman freed 300 slaves, I think, as well as the countries and just about Africa's culture in general.
Great. Africa as a country? Africa's
culture.
Okay, I thought you said you learned about Africa
I
as a
said about
country.
countries and then about
Oh, the African countries. And, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's like, nope.
No. We do know that it's a continent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello everyone. Hi. Yeah, we just saw this round. I was born in West Nigeria. I think in West Africa. My mom is Liberian and my dad is and I learned that all the slaves were sent to Liberia after the displacement started. And I lived in the country.
My name's LaDon Smith. My ethnic background, my mom is a quarter Puerto Rican and African American. My dad is full-blooded African American. And what I learned from this class was that I don't like saying this word, I can never pronounce it right, but Caucasian, did I say it right? Is not actually a race, but we had this discussion in class. We had this discussion in class, and I looked it up. It was actually named after, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was the mountains, the Caucasus.
Mount Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah. And because I guess they produce, beautiful men and species of people out there that they just decided to name themselves after them. And that's how the term Caucasian came to be, implemented as a race for white people. And that's something, I really enjoyed learning about as far as as well as the African American countries. Even though I wasn't there to take my test, but I still learned a lot about them, and I never knew there was actually so many. And that's pretty much it.
Yes, we did.
My name is Keisha Gwen. My background, I guess you would say, my parents are
Tell them.
my background, my mom is African American, my dad is African American and Korean and a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's too much to go down the line, just this and that and that. And what I learned was all the countries of Africa and America. So now I can, somebody say, oh, Sudan, I'm like, oh, I know where that says. So I can tell people where it's set on the map, so I'm proud of that. And I learned a lot. I learned about Harriet Tubman. I didn't know that she freed slaves. I knew she did the railroad, but I didn't know that she freed slaves. That's something I learned. And how race doesn't really exist, should I say. I learned that. Basically, how racism kind of still exists today. So that's pretty much what I learned. Yeah, I'm good.
No, you have to wait till everybody speaks. At 3:30, right? You're almost done.
My name is Desiree Sarah. My background is African American. Family's from Arkansas. My dad's side is Arkansas. My mom's side is Mississippi. Prior to this class, I kind of don't really have a full history of my family background. So it was nice to be in this class and kind of learn what they possibly had went through coming from southern states. The part that I really kind of clung to the most was I did not know Morocco was in Africa. I thought it was maybe in Iran or something. I don't know, but that and then the black codes were very interesting thing for me to learn, and to learn that some of this stuff didn't come off the books until after the 50s, so it really wasn't that long ago, and that we're still dealing with this stuff every day. So I really enjoyed the class and enjoyed the
You can go ahead and go.
My name's Juwan. My background, both my parents are black. The most significant thing I learned was like countries in Africa. Also in the Caribbean and stuff.
Is that everyone? No.
No, sir. Come on. Someone get up. Let's go.
Yeah, you already went. Everybody went.
And you?
Now we're
Hey, you're in a different country?
Well, we can't hear you.
sorry.
My name is Serafel. You're in a different country, Ethiopia, so I was 13. And something that I learned in this class, probably, I learned like, oh yeah, okay, kind of like deep, but the African American history, like, since I've been here in America, like, U.S. history and stuff like that, like, we kind of, when we talk about African American history, it always start with the slavery part. And it kind of like always kind of ticked me off because that's not where the history of African Americans started. It should always start from the root of the history, but then go on. History should not just depend on the slavery and stuff. Should not be just the main part of it, because all this social prejudice, all the things we view other races and all this stuff is like engraved in our brain. Just not by the slavery, but I think like all the propaganda and all the stuff that's been put out there, like just to judge people and they live and stuff like that, it started from all the core of it. So I kind of learned like how slavery is not the main reason for all the prejudice that happens. Other stuff has to do with it,
Like what I didn't hear the last part.
like pretty much how like on TV, like movies that were out back in the day, and how they made African Americans look like, and like posters and stuff like that, and engraved as stereotypical things like food, like how they combine food with people and stuff like that, like yeah, stuff like that.
My name is Dean Collier. Both my parents are African American, and what I learned from the class was how like the human race originated from Ethiopia. And then some of the stuff I learned in high school, but this was more in depth to like the slave trade in Peru. And I'm just learning more about culture.
What about you? I think you should get up and say something. She teaches the class.
I know. What did I learn?
How was your experience with the students?
Okay, well,
So stretching it out. You will have
How
to
about if
go.
I do mine in class?
Yes.
And see you guys later.
Okay.